Well, very good morning, everyone. James O'Connell here from the Hospitality Company. Thank you for joining us for this short webinar today on the 2021 Hospitality Management Academy and the owner's guide for the course. Just before we get started, I just want to make sure that you are seeing the same screen that I am. So you should be seeing a screen saying 2021 Hospitality Management Academy. If you are seeing that, could you just give me a thumbs up or a wave in the chat box, say yes, I can see the screen. That'll just make sure I don't go on looking at something that you're not looking at. Right, so we're getting hands raised and comments. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate that. So welcome to this webinar. We're just putting this on. I just decided to put this on today because we're getting lots of great questions come through on the email wanting a little bit more detail on the Academy, and I just thought that what I would do is make this webinar, recording it, and share what we think are some of the really important areas that as owners who will be tutoring through your staff through the program about some of the things to be aware of and some of the things that you can do to really support your managers and employees through the program. So the program has sort of unofficially started because everyone that has joined and registered is currently receiving a orientation to the program. So they got a couple of emails last week, and if they've just signed up late, they'll be getting those now. And then we've got this 6 days of short emails regarding the program, a bit of insight into the course. We've asked them to fill out a worksheet, some questions about themselves, where they want to go in the future. So they're currently going through that through the Coach Accountable software at the moment. If your team members that you expect to be receiving that are not, there'll be a couple of things for that. One will be that the registration for Coach Accountable may have gone to their spam or the junk box. So if they haven't received anything from us, then please ask them to go there, find it, move that into their inbox, and then all future emails will go to their inbox. And the only other reason that they might not be getting it is because we may have received from you an incorrect email address for that person, and hasn't gone to them. So those will really be the only two reasons. So if you could check out with everyone today or tomorrow that they are receiving the emails, that they've received the login details, and ask them to do that check on the spam and junk, or come back to us and we can check that email address and make sure it's right. So they're doing that right now. But what I want to talk about today is more about the Academy and your relationship with them during the Academy. So that's where the focus of this time is going to be. Right, so you just get all my gadgets going. So you might have seen this through some of the communication that we have had on the Academy. Gallup, so Gallup research company into employee research. This is a great book. If you're looking for a great book to read, It's the Manager. Really, really recommend that. And on the front cover here of the page, which the book is called It's the Manager, Gallup finds that the quality of managers and team leaders is the biggest factor in your organization's long-term success. So, that is the reason why we've created the program. We ran it in 2008, 2019, 17, 18 and 19, not last year because of COVID, but we are back running the program again. And we certainly feel like this is the best content, most up-to-date content, and through Coach Accountable, the best we have delivered this program so far. So we're really excited about what we're doing here. So team leaders and managers, really, really important. And for some of you who have put non-team leaders or managers, frontline staff who are yet to become team leaders or managers, good on you for investing in those people nice and early, because you're giving them the knowledge about leadership and management before they even become one. And that's even better because it gives them more time to think about that as they move to that stage in their career. So, so that is why we're doing the program. It's as simple as that. So let's have a look at a little bit of detail about the Academy itself. Just had a whole bunch of new people come in, so welcome to you for joining us today. So about the Academy, The program is 20 weeks long. You could say 21 weeks because they're currently doing their orientation at the moment, but 20 weeks as of next week, which is when the first webinar will start. So the program goes to the end of September. It's based around a weekly webinar that happens on Wednesdays from 2:30 to 3:15, and that runs for 45 minutes. That happens for the 20 weeks in a row. These webinars, they're live. It is a live webinar, but it is also being recorded because we're dealing with people in hospitality who may be working over that time. And we can't find the perfect time for everyone. So we chose the time we chose, having spoken to quite a few people about it, clients about that. And we felt that was the best time, but they are being recorded. So really no one is going, and the program is going to miss any one of these, because once they've been recorded, they will be put into the Coach Accountable software, and they will be able to watch that at a later time. We'll also run 4 town hall Q&As over the 20 weeks. So a lot of the webinars themselves are going to be me talking on topics, but then we will do these Q&As, and we will let them know that through Coach Accountable. That'll be put into an appointment into the Coach Accountable, and they will be sent reminders. But we're going to judge those. We haven't put in those dates yet because we're just wanting to see how the early uptake goes in terms of the questions coming through. Are we going to get early questions? Are people going to wait a wee bit to get into the program? So although we've confirmed that we're going to have 4, we haven't confirmed those dates, and we'll just do that when we feel like is the right time through the program, giving ourselves some wiggle room to see how people are getting on. Everyone that is on the program will have access to Coach Accountable, and that is the software that we use for our coaching and training. It is what we use for our one-on-one coaching. It is what we use for our membership site, group coaching program, and all of our courses, and anything that we do at the Hospitality Company is run through Coach Accountable. So everyone has been sent a login and password to that, where they will have their own portal that they will be able to use to access the information. And I'll talk about that a bit more in a moment. And the final bit is around the worksheets. So after every webinar each week, on the following morning, the students will be sent a reflection worksheet, and it will be automatically sent to them, and they will have 4 days to complete that. It is not very long. It will take them 15, maybe 20 minutes to complete that. And it is based around reflection of the webinar that they did the day before, and how they might look at taking some action or thinking about some strategies for what they have been learning. What we're really looking for is their ability to think about and to reflect on what they have learned, and that is the essence of completing that worksheet. It is really important. I will be highlighting it to them when we start next week, but it is important to remember that there is a letter of participation for everyone that completes the program, on the condition that they complete the 20 worksheets to a high standard. So owners are asked, naturally so, asking, well, where's the accountability in terms of them doing it? It will be based on the 20 worksheets. So if you want to, really encourage your team and support your team, it will be on the completion and the quality of the worksheets that they complete following the webinars. And they'll have 4 days to complete that following the each weekly webinar. So that's sort of the bones of it. In terms of key topics, you may have seen this already, but the program is based around 5. We've got 5 months, and each month has a particular key topic: leadership, financial management, MSF management, marketing, sales and fulfillment, systems management, and people and performance. So those are the 5 headings. What the essence of the program will be is, what is the manager's relationship or the team leader's relationship with these 5 areas within a hospitality business. And as I said, each month will be dedicated to those topics. All right. And we call those the 4 pillars of leadership model, which is our primary coaching model. So the four pillars of business: finance, MSF, systems, people, with the center pillar or the center piece of that being leadership. So those are the key topics. Now, the Coach Accountable portal. So everyone will have received that access to Coach Accountable, which I've talked about before. Now, what I want you to be aware of is where they will be getting the bulk of their information. So when they go into their coaching portal, on the left-hand side of their main page, they will see a list of areas like overview, stream, actions. There'll be a list. At the bottom of the left-hand side list, they will see the 2021 Hospitality Management Academy. And that will be something that they can click on. When they click on that area, that will take them through to the Academy page. And that is where the majority of their resources, templates, whiteboards, access to information will be. So it's really, really important that they don't focus so much on the initial screen that they will see, but double click on the left-hand side under Group Coaching Program. And as we start the program next week in terms of the webinars, we will be opening up different resources as we go through that. If they went into there now, they won't see any whiteboards. They will be opened and shown to the students on the program as we go through each topic. All right. Now, I'll explain that to them in the first session next week. And in fact, the onboarding this week gives them some videos on how to do that. So they should have seen it, but just for you, if you're working with them, they're going, I don't know where to find the information, tell them to go into that home screen, bottom left corner, look for the 2021 Group Coaching Program under Groups, double click on that, and that is where the go-to place is for the Academy. Okay. Now, the other thing about, for those of you that are coaching clients, you'll already know this, but if you're not, you will know that people can email through the portal. So they click on the email button, which is in the top left-hand corner of that. And again, we'll give some instruction on how to do that. But for those that are coaching clients who are using our system already, you will be able to guide your team through. And for those of you that are listening who have put employees on and you're not currently part of our community, then you will see that the actual system itself is pretty intuitive. Okay. One of the other final things to say was they have been sent this week and last week to a Loom video that shows them how to connect their appointments for the trainings, the webinars, to their calendar, their own personal calendar, whether it be a Google Calendar or a iPhone calendar. And so please encourage them to link Coach Accountable and their calendar up so that the appointments for the webinars go into the personal calendar. Okay, so that's sort of enough on that, but that's just a bit of an intro so that you can at least provide them some support along the way. Okay, so question here is how can you best support your team over the 20 weeks? So let's have a look at some of the things that you can be doing to support your team through the Academy. Well, what we want you to be is to be the CSO, the Chief Support Officer. The number one thing you can do is to be there to support them. Be their cheerleader. Be encouraging of them during the program. Don't focus on the investment and getting this instant return and that everything's got to fix itself. That is not the approach that you want to have. It is simply supporting them through their education. For many people, this will be the most challenging education they have done in quite a long time. For some of the older managers, it may be years since they have done this level of education, since they were at university or polytech or even at school, and that could prove challenging for them. The younger ones may have come and they're more used to learning, but for everyone, this will be a challenge. So what they just need to feel from you is an enormous amount of support, and what they shouldn't feel from you is pressure. Okay, so how can you best be that Chief Support Officer? One, have an open door to conversations. Be available for them to talk about the content. Number two, conduct some quick check-ins with them. Hey, when you're free, I'd love to sit down with you for 5 or 10 minutes over a coffee and hear about what you've been learning in the Academy. Things like that. Number three, set up some times to discuss content as a team, particularly for those that have made the wise decision of putting multiple people on the Academy to create a type school environment within your business. You will really benefit from looking at ways to bring the team together and sitting around in a relaxed environment, but discussing as a team what it is that you're learning and how you might complete some of the worksheets that have been coming through. Fourth is encourage them and take interest. That is part of that support. Just be encouraging. How are you going? What are you enjoying? Yeah. What were some of the things that is new? Have you thought about how you might apply some of that in the business? What do you need from us to support you more? Just be that person. And finally, celebrate the small wins along the way. This is an investment and it needs to be seen as a longer term investment in your people. But during the 20 weeks, there will be some wins. That may include some of your staff picking up books and reading business books for the first time. Celebrate that win. It might be just jumping on YouTube and watching more business videos, watching leadership videos, something they've never done before. The chef who owns 300 cookbooks and for the first time purchased their first leadership book. Celebrate those things. If they do something, if they put a system in place that you've said, yeah, let's do that, and you put it in place and it works really well, celebrate that little win. But as I said, the worst thing you can do is for looking for some instant transformation within 2 weeks of the program, that all of the problems that you think that this academy is going to fix for your business, that is not the strategy that you want to have here. This is planting the seed into the ground and really nurturing that to grow over a period of time. Okay. I know a lot of this is self-explanatory, and I'm sure you've thought about this already by yourself, but it's still really, really important that I highlight that to you. The other thing that I want to introduce for you is an understanding around adult learning. Everyone on the program will be an adult, and they will be treated as an adult during the program. And so this is a framework for adult learning that I just wanted to quickly run you through. So adults must have a reason to learn and be involved in the learning. In the worksheet that we've asked them to complete this week, we've asked them to tell us about their 5-year goal. And that is because we want to see what their future is so that they can use this program to manifest where it is that they want to be going. So have that real reason to learn. They've got to be involved in their learning, which they're certainly going to be involved here. Adult learning. Adults learn best by building on experience, by doing in different ways, in different rates. So that's important for you to know. Keep asking them and drawing on their experience. Something will come up and you can say, well, based on how your experience in that area, how might you apply this, or how might what James is talking about different to the way you've done it, and how might that situation been improved in the past if you've done this? So talking about their experience. Don't make it over theoretical, your conversations. Really apply it to day-to-day management within the business. Realizing that people will learn in different ways and at different rates. Don't have an expectation if you've got multiple people on that they will all learn exactly the same information in exactly the same way at the same time. Some will be early adapters to the information, some will take a bit longer, and we've certainly seen that over time. Adults need a variety of methods, a meaningful program, and constructive feedback. And it will be our role to provide all three of those things, which we believe that we will. Adults appreciate an informal environment, which this will certainly be, and being treated with dignity and respect. So that also applies to you, that if you're looking at getting the team together to talk about the academy, make sure it's an informal environment. Don't have a meeting about the academy, have a get together, or have a coffee as a group in a very laid back way talking about what they're learning. Don't turn this into an over-structured environment that they're not going to feel comfortable in. So I think they're really handy things to be aware of as you support them to support us through the academy. One of the really key parts of the academy that will be stressed to the managers and team leaders on the program is going to be this focus on being an 80-20 thinker. And 80-20 thinkers make the best managers. What does that mean? What are 80-20 thinkers? Well, it's under the Pareto principle. It's the 80-20 principle of 20% of results, sorry, 80% of results come from 20% of activities. 20% of actions create those 80% of results. So the key here is to focus on what is really, really important. We won't be teaching your team everything about business. We will be focusing on what we know to be the most important 20% of activities that will drive 80% of the results. But what we want out of that, both during the program and following the program, is a mindset change for these managers. We want them to help them, we want to help them become more reflective, to think more before acting, and to think more of what has happened and reflect on things. Not be busy, 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 but take the time to reflect. That is why the worksheet that is sent to them after each webinar that we do, the first question on that worksheet is, what are your key reflection from yesterday's webinar? We want them to think and reflect on what they're learning. Secondly, we want them to be more strategic. Help them become strategic. So knowledge is great, but then we've got to actually turn it into a strategy that we're going to apply. So we will be encouraging them to become more strategic, and there's questions about that in the worksheet too. And then thirdly, we want to help them be unconventional. The industry is not going as well as it could, and I'm talking pre-COVID, because it's too conventional in a copycat world. This is a really, really underperforming industry, and we've got people copying underperforming people because they're not willing to be unconventional and get away from what the masses are doing. Everyone wants to do what the masses are doing rather than doing what the absolute top 2-3% are doing. And when you see that, when you see what the 2 to 3% are doing, it can appear unconventional because not everyone's doing it. But we want your managers to be that way. We want them to realize that to be really, really successful, that they can't just think like everyone that's not going well. They've got to do the unconventional, which is to do the things that the top 2 to 3% do. So we will be doing a lot of and having a lot of conversation under leadership about being an 80-20 thinker. Right, nearly there. So summary points on the Academy. First, be a great CSO, Chief Support Officer. Be on their team, be their cheerleader, be their encouragement, be some wind to their sails over the 20 weeks. Number two, we are the professor, but you are the tutor. So what we mean by that is that we will deliver the content to them, but it is the environment that they go back to, that they are in every day, your support of them as you tutor them through what they're learning in a day-to-day practical way, that will be very, very important. Number three, one of the key parts of the Academy is to start new conversations. We are wanting to see that the people that are on the program, that their intelligence, their IQ around business is significantly increased. And the result of that should be new conversations within the business. And I encourage you to encourage them to let those new conversations be a part of the day-to-day conversations that you normally have. But we don't want you to be having exactly the same conversations in 20 weeks' time. Things should have been elevated. More knowledge should have come into the business, and therefore new conversations should take place. And finally, look for long-term results. Don't see this investment as something that is going to totally transform these people in 20 weeks. It is not what the Academy will do. What it will do, it'll put building blocks of knowledge and support into these people that will see them exponentially grow beyond the Academy. But that will also be a big part of your continued role in how you support them beyond the Academy. The Academy is a really great base of best practice management knowledge that will serve as the base for you to take them further. And we hope that you will do that. So, just got a few minutes left. If there are any Q&As, Q&A, if there's any questions, just feel free to type those into the Q&A box. I'll just wait sort of 1 minute. If there's no questions, then we'll finish up. If there's any questions, I will answer those as they come through in the Q&A box. But hopefully what I've been able to do today is answer a lot of the questions that you may have that have been coming through. And if you need to watch this again, we are recording this. I will send that out to you. Actually, I'll put it on the Facebook page, and you can watch that at a later date. So we hope this has served as support to you. If you have any questions following this webinar, please reach out on email, and you can ask those to me, and I will get back to you. It is going to be a very intense 20 weeks. So, really encourage your team to look forward to what we hope will be, a really fantastic experience for them. We have had, a number of years experience of doing this. We believe this is the best one that we have run. The content's the best, the structure's the best, the organisation around it is the best. And we think that your team doing this will, really enjoy themselves and feel like that they have been truly invested in by you and by the business. So look, no questions, so I'll call it a day there. If you aren't within our community on a day-to-day basis and you want to get a hold of me, there are my details, so please feel free to reach out that way. We really look forward to having your team on the Academy and getting our first webinar started next Wednesday. So thanks for watching this, either live or if you're watching the recording, thank you for joining us and watching this, and all the best for the rest of the week, and all the best with nurturing and being that Chief Support Officer to your team over the next 20 weeks. Thanks everyone. Have a great rest of the day. Take care.